Hello everyone, welcome to the Clarity 16.2.0 Feature Supportability Training. My name is Bill Yee. And today we're going to cover, as part of our Smart Automation area, the new improvements we've done to CSV import. So what's new in the area of CSV import? So previously we only had support for custom master objects. So in this release we added support for projects, ideas, team investments, and custom investment types. We also added improvements for lookups for CSV import. So we added support for OBS and also for dynamic lookups. Previously you had to have the label and the ID in order to import values for CSV import. Now you only need to label for dynamic lookups, because some of the feedback we've got is that if it's not part of the CSV export, that ID, it was hard to determine what that ID was for the value you're looking for. So just having the label, you're able to import values for dynamic lookups. We've also added support for asynchronous CSV import. So as we migrate support to other areas of Clarity, CSV import is an intensive operation. So we need to find a way of actually, as end users use CSV import, it's not impacting the performance and stability of your Clarity server. So the asynchronous import allows us to do that via our job scheduler, and it doesn't impact the performance of your Clarity server. And also some of the feedback we got with CSV import is that they want to be able to turn it on or off, this capability for their end users, and also what certain areas where they want to turn it off and for specific users. So we've added support for our action framework and to add our import for CSV with that. So Clarity administrators will be able to choose where they want to expose it and to what users they expose CSV import. So one thing we wanted to call out, that CSV import is still beta for 16.2.0, but we are interested in your feedback in using it. So if you are using it and you have some suggestions, good and bad, please let us know, and we'll like to add those to enhance our CSV import moving forward in the future. So the first thing I'm going to cover regarding to the new enhancements for CSV import is the availability now for CSV import with investments. So I'm here on the idea screen. If you see an action pull down, you have the ability to do CSV import. And let's go to a CIT, let's say value streams. You have this capability to do CSV import here as well. If we go to teams and to team investments, you'll have the ability to do CSV import. And also last but not least, if you go to projects, you'll have that ability to do CSV import here too. So let me cover some of the other changes related to CSV import. And let me go ahead. What I've done already is to export out this particular grid. I'm going to make changes to it. And let me go to the Excel spreadsheet here. So one of the new areas is that if you look at it, now we have an OBS with this part of the grid and a dynamic lookup. And one of the things to note is that we used to be for the ID, it used to be in parentheses. Now we changed it to curly braces. And the reason why we did that is some of the lookup values we've seen, like say you may have one for priority for high. Sometimes they put something in parentheses to explain what to do with the values that make it high. Well, that parentheses is actually causing confusion as part of CSV import. So we changed it from parentheses to curly braces because, for one, our end users are most likely to use curly braces, and then also too, with other changes we have within here is that especially for dynamic lookups, you can also just enter the value for it. So right now we have Patrick Clark with a label here, and you have the ID. So let's change this to Cheryl Amos. Cheryl. And then we'll apply it to all the records here. So if you see, we just put the label without the ID, and this is one of the new changes, because a lot of times what we heard is that, well, if it's an item that's not in our export, I don't know the lookup ID for it. So this makes it easier to make those changes, and also to not need to know what that lookup ID is. So we changed it for all the different values. And the other change is that we may have added support for OBS. So here are all the OBSs to, and what you need to do is enter the full path of your OBS. So here's the one for business technologies. So for this one, I'm going to change this one to products. That's another one we have here. So we go products, and we're going to apply it to all the records as part of it in here. So with it, so I'm going to click save, and let's do an import for this particular item here too. So before we do that, one of the changes we did is that now we've added the ability to do asynchronous import, because as we expand this out, the CSV import is an intensive operation, and we don't want to impact the operations for within your Clarity server as several users are doing import. So we've added this asynchronous capability. It's used as part of our job framework, and it's used in conjunction with the notifications. So let's go ahead and kick it off, and I'll show you with it. We do the import, select the import file, and the one I chose was the all projects update. It'll do the import progress, and then what it'll let you do, it goes as part of our job framework, and once it's done, it'll send you a notification once it's done. And if you click on it, it'll let you know that the import was completed. And if you click on the notification, it'll, before I think we had a banner show you, so we moved that banner capability within the notification. So if you click on the notifications, it will actually show you what was imported, and you get a status of it for those particular areas. So we've also provided it for all different scenarios for the import. Let's show you a different one. So we do an import here, and let's give you a with warnings, for example. We do the import, we get the notification. Now this gives you a warning. For example, if you click on it, we show you that on this one, we don't support the star attribute as part of the import, and we have a color triangle, a yellow one, as part of it. So that's the one there. Let's try one for example, when you have errors. So I have one here for errors. I do an import. Here it gave me an error, and the error is a triangle with the exclamation point. If I click on it, it will show you here that we had 5 errors in here. You can go ahead, download the error file. Same as what we had in the modal, we moved that capability to the notifications area. So let's close that out. And let's show you one where it actually aborts the file. For example, let's go in here, and we do one for abort. And we come in here. Now abort is the block sign. If I click on this one, for example, it doesn't have the header rows, those 2 header rows within the file. When you need that in terms of determining what the attribute is in order to import it. So when you get an abort, I'm not able to process the file, so I'm not able to import anything inside this file. While the errors, some of the particular rows, one or all the rows, I'm not able to process or upload, depending on it is. So these are the, let me take another look, the different types, and you'll know by the kind of the colored icons and the shapes of it as well. So we've added that capability for all the areas on investments, and custom master object. But some of the feedback we heard with CSV import, this is great technology. We like what we have here, but we're not ready for our end users to use the CSV import. We're just maturity level is not there, or we're just not ready at this time. So what we've done as part of it, we built something within the CSV import we call the action framework, and it's under system administration attributes, an area called actions. So what happens is when we go there and you upgrade, we see the import from CSV to all the investments, all your custom investment types, and all your custom master objects, and we see them for all those objects. So in here, what you can do, similar to how you do field level security, you can secure it and give access to that particular, to your particular users. Now we've added something a little bit different than we had for field level security. We added enable flag. Well, for one, the action framework, it's not going to be used for just CSV import. We're going to use it for many different actions in the future. So this could be a very long list. And if you're provisioning this capability out to your end users, you're probably testing it's secured and who you give access to into your system. So you spend a lot of time in setting up the access. The way you have to do it now inside field level security, you have to kind of check it, but if you want to block it or do any maintenance, you have to wipe out the access to make sure no one gets it and then add the access back. And for that area, changing the configuration was a kind of a downside with this one. So we added enable flag. So if you just disable this capability here, it will hide that, say, the CSV import in the administration area or in the products or projects, and how you want to do that. Or the way we see it's done is that you have it here secured with different groups, and you have it disabled prior to rollout, and once you got all the OKs ready to roll this for, like, say, a particular upgrade, then you can check enabled, and then this capability will be available to your system for your end users for that matter. One thing to note is when you're making changes for enabling or disabling, it requires the user to log out or log on to get those changes on the end user side. So keep that in mind as part of the using of the action framework, and the enabling is similar to how it handles with the rights, and it's tied to the user session. And with that concludes my demonstration of the new enhancements for CSV import.